record. Okay, so I'd like to introduce you all to Naoko Page. She's a certified yoga instructor who believes that everyone has the ability to heal themselves through daily self-love practices. She educates people on the importance of managing stress, which leads to many preventable illnesses and stressing out, right? She offers a variety of classes to teach her participants the tools to manage their own stress to improve health at any level. Okay, so please welcome Ms. Naoko Page.
Hi, everybody. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me, and nice to see all of you. And I'm excited to kind of teach you guys a little bit about managing stress, right? Because we all experience this, right? I mean, who feels stress sometimes? Most of us. Yeah. Who feels anxiety, worry? Yep. Okay, perfect.
Rocky, you look
So, yeah,
stressed right now.
what's that?
No, Rocky, you look stressed.
Where's Rocky? Oh, Rocky looks stressed. He has a big smile on his face. So my objective really is to kind of talk about, like what happens to your body when you go into that stress, and then what are the tools that you can, use to just help you to manage that stress. Because we all know that, when you're stressed out, what happens, right? It's kind of hard to concentrate on anything, right? When you're feeling stressed out, are you able to solve problems and take care of your daily health and life? Kind of not, right? You're kind of like just juggling things around and putting things out as they are. So what can we do? So first of all, we all experience this type of stress. It can be actually things that are good things can actually stress us out too. So examples, you guys are really young, but examples could be, celebrating a wedding, having a baby, buying a house. All of these things are really good things in our lives, but it can cause a lot of stress as well. And of course, we know that, there are other things that are not so great that can cause stress, like being sick, right? Worrying about catching COVID, worrying about giving COVID to people, social anxiety, all these things are also stressors in our lives that can really kind of harm us. I know you guys are super young, so maybe you're not worried so much about your health, but I know that you guys are anxious about the test taking, right? Um, so I just want to know, I know that you guys have gone through with Kalihua a little bit of some visualization techniques, but just wanting to just see out of the group, how many of you actually have used these visualization techniques or imagery practices before? Anybody? Yeah, okay.
We
Was
just
it
kind
more
of
for
set,
like,
they just kind of set their goals. They just kind of wrote it and talked about it.
yeah? Okay, okay. Yeah, so just in general, right? Not a whole lot of people, when I usually ask people if they have imagery practices, most people say no, unless you've been in sports. A lot of times, right? Sports, if you're doing a basketball, trying to put it through the hoop, right? You're kind of imagining it. They say that that's supposed to be really helpful. So that can be an imagery practice. And I just want to raise of hands. I think we talked about this just a second ago, but how many of you worry? How many of you worry? Yeah, probably on a daily basis worry. Yeah. So just to give you some context, worrying is actually an imagery practice. It's the negative type of imagery practice. So they call it awfulizing. And so a lot of times what happens when you worry? Do you notice like your heart starts beating kind of fast? Maybe your palms get a little bit sweaty. So your body is actually reacting to the thoughts in your mind. So this is really interesting, right? Because I don't think that anybody ever really thinks about like all these thoughts that come in. We have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts that come into our mind. And about 80% of them are negative and repetitive. So the daily thoughts that most people have are the same loop of negative thoughts and the same negative thoughts over and over and over again. So a lot of these tools that I teach and basically breathing and meditation practices can really kind of help you to just take a pause and maybe just observe your thoughts instead of becoming caught up in them, right? Because sometimes when your thoughts come and you start getting kind of stressed out about it, right, you almost like feel like you lose control of yourself. You lose control of your senses, your mind. So allowing yourself to just pause for a moment and, I know that some people might think like, well, why do I need to learn how to breathe? Because don't I just do that every day anyway, naturally? And it's true, we do. Our bodies just take care of that breathing aspect. But to actually consciously take a deep breath and have a deep breathing practice, what it does is it kind of helps you to lower your blood pressure. Physically, it helps you to lower your blood pressure. It helps you to relax your body. And then when your body is relaxed, your mind can relax. And when your mind is relaxed and focused, it kind of helps to open up for creativity and thought process. So it really helps you to solve problems, right? So instead of going through your normal loop of, you know, we have as many thoughts as we salivate. So it's normal, right? A lot of people say, I'm crazy because I have so many different thoughts. You're not crazy. This is just very normal. But you can actually do practices to help focus your thoughts, focus your thinking, right? So I just want to do a really, really quick practice, just for you guys can kind of feel the differences. So I want everybody to close your eyes, okay? And just take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. See if you can kind of open up your chest a little bit. Just relax and just take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. Okay, and I want you to, with your eyes closed, just in your mind, just keep repeating the word trouble. Just over and over again, just trouble, trouble, trouble. Just keep repeating it silently in your mind over and over and over again. And just observe, as you're repeating it, just observe how this word makes your body feel. And if you notice anything, just over and over again, trouble, trouble, trouble. And then now I want you to kind of erase that word, right? So if it's like your mind has a whiteboard, just erase that word. And then I want you to replace it with peace. Just keep repeating the word peace, 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 over and over and over again. And now I want you to observe how you feel with this word. How does your body feel? How does the mind feel? Maybe even noticing your breath. And then just release the word, and then you guys can open up your eyes. And then, I don't know if you guys feel like sharing really quick. How many of you could notice a difference between the two words? Anything? Yeah? So first word, yeah, a little bit, it's like nuancy, but first word maybe a little bit of, like maybe you're kind of like scrunching your eyebrows and it's feeling a little bit, maybe your heart rate's going up a little bit. And then maybe the second word, you kind of just going from the first word, trouble, to peace, kind of just let you relax a little bit, right? Maybe you felt a little bit more peaceful, right? So look how much that those two words can affect you. So imagine now all the things that you tell yourself every single day, right? Like negative things that you tell yourself, or even say them out loud, right? How many times have you said, oh, I'm really bad with names. I'm not a morning person, or, like anything that is, when somebody's trying to say, hey, why don't you try this? And then immediately you're like, oh no, I can't do that because of this. And really it's all just from your past experiences. Is it true? Maybe if you believe it, it probably is, right? But could it be that you can train yourself to think a different way? Absolutely. How many times, okay, how many of you guys drive cars? Yeah? Okay, so do you guys remember the first time you learned how to drive and how that felt and how you had to use all of your conscious mind to do it, right? You couldn't even turn on the radio. You're like sweating, nervous, right? And you're just like looking all around, just making sure that you don't hit anything, right? Okay, so I don't know how long you guys have been driving because you guys look pretty young, but I'm sure it's been a few years. Now, do you even think about driving anymore? You just get in, drive the car, turn on the radio. Sometimes you can, right? You could just talk story with somebody on the phone. I mean, it's like it's not even a conscious thought anymore, right? Just like anything else that you do every single day, all the time, right? So it really, again, it's just kind of switching from your conscious, it goes into your subconscious. The subconscious just takes over things like walking, breathing, anything that takes that conscious effort in the beginning now is like second nature to you. So really that's what it comes down to, is training yourself to come to the point where you do something and action so often that it becomes like second nature to you. So again, now we're moving into breathing, right? Talking about, why do I need to learn how to take a deep breath? Why do I have to learn this? Because I already breathe every single day. So breathing can actually change your inner states. So if you're feeling anxious and you're feeling upset or stressed out, just taking some nice deep breaths, just sometimes stressful habits, just like take a nice. So if you actually, and it doesn't have to start off with just a minute a day, and something becomes stressful, your subconscious automatically picks it up, and you don't even have to do the anymore. You just are way more relaxed, way more less stressed out and peaceful. And so learning things and taking tests and just having your daily life, you're going to be a much more relaxed person. And Kalihua said that you guys are all taking the test to become firefighters, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds very stressful to me. Running into a fire sounds stressful. So you would definitely want to have this practice to stay as calm as possible, because when you're calm, you can make the best decisions always, right? When you're stressed out, decisions out the door, right? Bad decisions all the time. You ever do that? You're stressed out and then you just make one bad decision after another. So we're going to just learn how to do some deep breathing here. So again, we're going to find a nice, tall, grounded seat, meaning I want you to really feel your spine opening up. So just like when you're watering the yard and you have a hose and your hose is kind of kinked like this, the water has a hard time, right, coming out. So just like your body, when you are kind of like slouching like this, okay, well, let's do that. Let's slouch. Let's just relax, like you're just relaxing on the couch, and just bend, like bend forward a little bit, and try to take a deep breath in and out through your nose with your body all slouchy. Because I'd like you guys to feel kind of like the opposite of what it feels like to take a deep breath with your chest nice and open. Okay? So slouching and taking deep breaths, and then now open up your chest. Relax the shoulders and really elongate your spine, and now take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. Does that feel different? Can you guys feel the difference? Okay, perfect. And speaking of the neck, right? So sometimes you can have a nice tall grounded seat, but a lot of times we do this, and this is called the text neck. So still, right? This is putting a lot of load on your shoulders. This has nothing to do with breathing necessarily, but it's putting a lot of load on your shoulders, and your shoulders are going to start to hurt. So just imagine elongating the back of your neck. So send your crown of your head, the top of your head, up towards the ceiling. Yep, perfect. Now that you have a nice tall grounded seat, I want you to put one hand on your abdomen and put one hand on your chest. Yeah. One hand on your abdomen, one hand on your chest. And then close your eyes and just begin to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. When you're inhaling, I want you to expand your abdomen, expand your ribs, and expand your chest. And then when you exhale, I want you to contract or empty your chest, the ribs, and the abdomen, and squeeze all the stale air out of your lungs. And I want you to continue to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Try to relax those facial muscles. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really feel your hands moving with your body opening up. and contracting. And just begin to notice how you feel. Just let your breath be nice and slow. We're not gasping for air. We're just taking slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then slowly just bring your breath back to normal. You can release your hands down. You can open your eyes. And that was really just maybe what, less than a minute of breathing. How do you guys feel? Feeling a little more relaxed? Yeah, less anxious. So that is one practice you can do. There's a lot of different breathing practices you can do, and you don't even have to put your hands there. I just did it for, this purpose of just feeling your body moving forward and backward. But if you say are in a stressful situation, wherever you are, you can always just do that breathing practice without putting your hands there. So you can just, wherever you're feeling it, sometimes, you're driving, somebody cuts you off and you just immediately start to get really anxious and upset. You can do that breathing practice right in your car when you're driving. So that's one practice that you can do, and say again, right? You start that practice maybe every morning after you brush your teeth. You just sit there and you just set your timer for 1 minute. I don't know if you guys have Apple Watches, but some people monitor their heart rate on their watches. And when they do a breathing practice like that for a couple of minutes, the heart rate just drops and the blood pressure drops. And it's really amazing that you actually have control over that. So really, again, right, we're trying to have control over our own minds, have control over our own bodies, just by doing some of these practices that are really, really simple to do. You don't need any equipment whatsoever. And all you need is just some time and just a reminder, right? Sometimes you forget. You wake up in the morning and you go through your regular routine, brushing your teeth, eating your breakfast, whatever you do. And then, you were like, oh, shucks, at the end of the day, I meant to do that breathing practice, but I forgot. So maybe just tag it on to another habit that you're already doing, like waking up, brushing your teeth. I'm going to do my breathing practice for a minute. And then maybe when it gets super easy, the minute is like nothing. Maybe set your timer for 2 minutes and see, again, just pushing yourself to the edge of a little bit of discomfort where it's kind of like, oh, I'm starting to really start to think about other things. I'm starting to get stressed out because of the time. Then scale it back to a minute. Yeah. We're going to do a really quick practice of meditation. And I just want to see how many of you meditate or tried it, or nobody? Oh, okay, a little bit. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So meditation, there's so many different styles of meditation, and really it's really kind of strengthening your mind, right? How many times have you said, like, I have really, like, my willpower sucks? Like, how many of you guys have ever said that before? Like, I have really horrible willpower. Yeah. Right? If you're trying to do something like work out or eat better or whatever it is that that you meant to do, and you feel at doing it, and then you tell yourself, like, I'm horrible, I suck, right? So meditation really helps you to strengthen your mind, right? Just like when you're doing like a bicep curl, right? That is really the practice of strengthening your bicep. So if you do meditation, it's like doing bicep curls for your mind. You're strengthening your mind so you can keep your focus. And really, when you're trying to take this test, right, you want to make sure you keep your focus, because it's so easy, right? Whenever you're doing something like that, when you have to use your mind like this, you're going to start thinking about, like, oh, what am I going to eat later? Or, you place yourself someplace else, right? You go to like another place. So we want to stay focused. You want to keep the mind strengthening and in that moment. So meditation really helps you to do that. It keeps you right here in your conscious mind. So this practice, again, we're just going to take a nice, tall, grounded seat. And again, there's so many different styles of meditation, but we're going to do one that's called the one-pointed focus. So close your eyes, okay? And I want you to just think of a word that's just really uplifting, something that makes you feel good. Maybe something like peace or joy or whatever it is that you want to focus on. Make it positive and, keep it present. So I want you to just, in your mind's eye, with your eyes closed, just keep repeating that word over and over and over again, just like that similar exercise that we did. Just keep your mind continuously repeating your focus word over and over and over again. And then just observe your mind. You're going to notice that it's going to wander, right? It's going to go to other places like, oh, I'm so sleepy. When is this going to end? Or, what am I going to eat for dinner, right? Your mind's going to go other places, and that's okay. The mind wandering is wonderful, because then once you realize that the mind wandered, you bring it back with the word, and you just continuously do this. No judgment to yourself whatsoever. You don't have to tell yourself, oh, I can't focus, I'm horrible at focusing. Just keep yourself coming back, right? Just again, you're doing those curls basically. The mind goes away, you're going to bring it back. The mind goes away, you're going to bring it back, and just continuously do this. We're going to do this practice for 1 minute in silence, okay? So just try practicing, focusing on your word for 1 minute, and I will call it out when it's done, okay? And we're going to begin now. Okay, allow yourself to release that word, and then slowly begin to open your eyes. And just out of curiosity, I just want to know, how many of you thought that was hard? Yeah? How many of you got really sleepy? Yeah, yeah. So it's really interesting. So if you continue to do this practice, just like that breathing practice, your mind is going to get stronger and stronger. And it's quite amazing. Maybe you can bring it up to 15 minutes or so of that practice. And you can even do it anytime. Like maybe you have a little bit of time when you're waiting in line or something, or, waiting for, I don't know, an appointment, and you have time to sit in your car. Again, these practices, it's so wonderful because you can do them anywhere. It's really just about practicing though, right? If you don't want to wait until you're stressed out to take those deep breaths, if you do it now, before everything, I mean, it's going to actually help you with your whole life, with everything that you do, for all the choices that you make. It just really helps you to strengthen your resolve, your willpower, helps you to make better choices. There's a lot of really, really amazing research that's done on meditation, and it's been recommended by, Yale, Harvard. It's like a worldwide tool that people use. So I want to just leave you with this thought of basically your peaceful mind, right? When the mind is peaceful, everything feels good, right? Everything feels right. And, I know we live in Hawaii, so I give a good ocean analogy. So, if you're swimming in the ocean and you're above the surface, right? If it's calm, right, it's great, right? I mean, well, some of you guys, if you guys are surfers, I'm sure you guys want the waves, right? But imagine, right, you're just like your mind, right? It can be really tumultuous, right? It can be like almost like hurricane, gale winds, crazy waves. But no matter what it's like on the surface, if you dive deep down into the ocean, it's always going to be peaceful and still, right? No matter what's going on top. In fact, if you're diving down below and you're looking up at the crazy waves, you can kind of observe almost, right? The chaos that's going on up there, right? So that's what we're trying to do here, is allow ourselves to kind of take that, that strength to be able to observe what's going on instead of getting caught up in it, right? Instead of getting caught up in that whitewash, it's so stressful, right? But you just have to dive down deep And just like your peaceful mind, you can actually, when you're feeling anxious, you can dive deep down inside and relax. And that's when a lot of the answers and the solutions come. Does anybody have any questions about this at all? No? You guys are good? Are you guys gonna give meditation and breathing a try?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, I'd love to hear how it was helpful for you. When do you guys take the test?
They don't know yet. I mean, we have to finish
Oh,
up
okay.
this class and then they figure it out after that.
Got it, got it. Well, it's helpful for learning as well. Just trying to relax the mind. You can put so much more information into the mind when your mind is relaxed, as opposed to if it's
Mhm.
really stressed out and continuously thinking about all the things, right, that we worry about on a daily basis. So, allowing yourself to be peaceful, to know what the things that you have control over, right? In any situation, whether it's for work or relationships or even just your own self battles, right? So I hope that it's helpful. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out through Kalehua, especially if you guys are practicing and you guys want some tips and pointers, or if things are coming up that you have questions about, then please reach out.
Oh, I have a question. I was wondering, like, do you instruct yoga somewhere?
I actually teach at the Moana Surfrider, and then I also teach online as well.
Is it free?
It's not, sorry.
That's a
Well, at the
job.
Moana,
Yeah, I'm
if
just
you're a
not.
guest, I know if you're a guest at the Moana, it's free.